So the City of Montreal City Council is going to have to deal with a motion today calling on it to suspend its ties with Israel, a move that you can imagine is already drawing pretty strong reaction from both supporters and critics. I wrote something in the Montreal Gazette a couple of weeks ago when I first read that Alex Norris of Projet Montréal, and by the way, it's Projet who is bringing this to the fore, felt this was necessary. And I said, you know what? It is not. We don't compare this to apartheid in South Africa or the Holocaust in Nazi Germany, but it is coming up for debate today. Not hearing anything from the mayor, but I know previously the mayor, when this first came up, the city has issued its own sort of declaration, if you will, of all of us, being able to live together and understanding the situation here is not an easy one to have to deal with on a daily basis. But regardless, it is going to be brought forth tonight. Dida Berku is a former city councillor in Côte-St-Luc and is on the line. Dida, thanks for coming on. So, as I said, you can imagine tensions are running high on both sides. Many people feel this is something Montreal should not be involved in. So talk to me and explain why that's the case.
Right, Aaron. So thank you very much for having me on, because it's exactly where I wanted to start with your editorial of June 8th, which is more than 2.5 months ago. And that still rings true. This is a conflict that's being imported from a foreign country, and it should not be, imported into the politics and the municipal governance of Montreal to influence, the tensions and to increase the hate speech and hate crimes that we've been seeing in our city. And as you correctly pointed out, on June 15th, Soraya and the Ensemble Party did put forth a declaration, which we were hopeful was going to be back on the agenda. Unfortunately, she did not put it back on the agenda. And that already was very concerning. And now what we understand from our sources is that there's going to be amendments to the Projet resolution to actually condemn Israel in one way, shape, or form, whether it's genocide, war crimes, ethnic cleansing. The language is still not clear, and that they will push the federal government to take further action. So I just feel that it's very important that people understand. To me, this is not the way municipal policy should be formulated. As a former city councillor for over 35 years, I'm sensitive to the pressure that the mayor and the executive have been subjected to since June. And for the past 2 months, advocacy groups like Canadians for Justice and Peace in the Middle East and Global Sumud Canada, who are lobbying, for and are active in the Gaza flotilla, they actually met Mayor Soraya and other councillors, and they insisted that they vote to condemn Israel for genocide. And they're boasting and posting on Facebook that they've met. And it's based on these meetings that now we understand that these people who have taken photos with terrorists, who have, who are, carrying Hamas symbols, that these people are now promoting, this genocide condemnation, and that the City Council of Montreal is actually going to be putting forth amendments that may be based on their opinion. This is very, very, very concerning. And,
I want to mention, so people understand, that this motion that's going to be put forward today at City Hall calls on the city, on Montreal, to recognize and denounce what it describes as an apartheid regime in Palestine, which it is not, and a genocide being perpetrated there, which it is not, and to express solidarity with Palestinians. Why not just express solidarity and leave all that other stuff out? Because we know it's not either of those things.
And why not express solidarity with the people of Montreal and be concerned with the safety and security and the peace and the social cohesion for the people of Montreal? Because we all want to live together in peace with our Muslim neighbors, our Christian neighbors, our Jewish neighbors. We don't want to import a foreign conflict onto our territory. But this is definitely going to inflame. And I can tell you, for the past 2.5 months, the councillors, especially the past 10 days, at least 2 weeks, they've been turning and spinning in circles. Should it be genocide? Should it be apartheid? Should it be war crime? Should it be ethnic cleansing? How can we condemn Israel? Is this the business of the City Council of Montreal? Is that what they were paid? Is that what they are? Is that their mandate? Are they going to substitute themselves for the International Court of Justice?
Which is really the concern. I mean, when you stop and think about it, this is the city of Montreal, right? We have priorities to deal with in the city, which don't necessarily mean that we go ahead and bother with what's happening internationally because it has no effect on what's happening internationally. So I don't understand why someone thinks, in this case, Projet Montréal, there's a need for this or what it's supposed to achieve when it's presented.
It's not just Projet Montréal at this point, because as I'm telling you, our sources tell us that there will be amendments to the resolution which will go in a direction that you and I and other other people in Montreal will not be in favor of. And this is being influenced by outside activists who are coming here to influence the vote. So this has now become very, very critical. Is this the way policy is being formulated in Montreal? You know, if you want to build a road for $10 million, you get an engineering report, a budget report, a whole, backup for the decision. The council has to make informed decisions. Right now, everything is secret. Nobody knows what is the surprise amendments that are going to come out, and nobody knows what the justification for these surprise amendments are going to be. Ultimately, when this does come up, and I guess my understanding is even if every member of Ensemble votes it down, there's not necessarily enough there to form a majority to say no. It's possible, but then they should just take a principled stand.
And we've not heard from the mayor suggest. I mean, again, we go back to that original document that I had mentioned, at that time, but nothing since then and no comment on this, I think, right?
Absolutely not. And the declaration was not. The whole argument on June 15th was, they put forth a resolution, we want to put forth a declaration.
Right.
And the declaration was fine, it was peace and love and, we should all get along. They didn't put it back on the agenda. So obviously they've been negotiating, and now this is the result, but we don't know the result. We don't know what the result is going to be. All we know is that she has been meeting with the members of the Gaza flotilla groups, and that these are the people that she's meeting with.
My understanding as well is there's a protest planned. We found this out a couple of days ago tonight at City Hall. I think those are from supporters. There's a counter protest planned as well. Do you know?
There's been supporters of the resolution there since 11:30 this morning.
Is there a counter protest as far as you're aware?
Well, I call it a counter protest. It's a protest to support peace, cohesion,
right,
social justice. I mean, we want to live in peace in Montreal. We don't want to have all these controversies. I don't call that a counter protest. I call that a demonstration for peace and social cohesion.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's nothing in this motion by Projet to condemn Hamas anywhere, is there?
I haven't seen it so far.
Wouldn't think it would be there. Listen, as I said, it's contentious in the sense that clearly, as you're outlining, there's a large enough group of people sitting trying to understand, myself among them, why this is happening, what's the need for this or the point for this and what it ends up achieving when there's so many more important issues to deal with in the city of Montreal. So
absolutely,
we shall see what happens. And I hope, the mayor, at least at this point, when this does come up, cooler heads prevail, if I can put it that way, and see what happens. So, Dida, thank you.
Thank you
I appreciate
very much,
the time.
Aaron. Thank you very much. You're the only journalist that is giving this any attention. You don't see it being, aired anywhere. And I think it's a very important issue when you have the Hellenic Society, the Italian Society, all kinds of different, non-affiliated business and community leaders, lawyers, doctors. Everyone's writing. The Council for Dialogue between Christians and Jews, they're all against it. There's a whole long list of petitions and letters that are being presented. Everyone's against this resolution.
Dida, I thank you. I'm not so sure that there are no others paying attention to this as well, and I hope that's not the case. But I thank you for the time, and I wish you well. Thanks again.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Brian Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
or the free iHeartRadio app.